I'll go ahead and call roll.
Call the roll, please.
Okay, Director Brewer,
Here.
Meredith Mills,
Here.
Director Holly Bush,
Here.
Lisa Vandegraff,
Here.
Randy Henry, he is absent. Ellen Holmes,
Here.
Allison Wright.
Here.
There's a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item we have on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, minutes has been motioned and second. Is there any discussion?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion carried. Next item we have on the marketing, we have discussion regarding RFP for services. This is a non-action item.
This item was added at the request of Director Holly Bush.
Holly Bush, you want to,
So, as far as RFP for service, I know we've used a sales agency for several years now. And then Triple D Services, that was Damien Denmark. And so he had contacted me and asked me some questions about it. So I encouraged him to submit a proposal. So he was very interested, being from Texarkana, having a vested interest, trying to get back to Texarkana. He was very interested in seeing what he could do to help serve the city and A&P and just help market us. And so he did submit a proposal, and then it was withdrawn because the meeting time, I guess, changed for him. So I think it would be advantageous just to put this out, put an RFP out, and see what kind of other agents might be out there that would be interested in marketing the city for us.
okay, with that being said, we've had the current sales agency that have been doing an outstanding job for us, which we can put that out there as see if there's any takers or what have you, but we currently have a sales agency that's actually doing the job, and they're doing an outstanding job. So I do entertain your discussions, and that's all we're doing today, just discussing.
Director Brewer, I kind of, just from a financial perspective or from a perspective of the next step, the sales agency has also withdrawn their proposal as well.
Okay.
So with that being said, they said that they would, if they would be happy to reconsider if we
Okay.
did do a formal RFP.
Okay.
For services. So right now, both proposals had been withdrawn, and we don't have an agency to service for 2024.
Okay, good deal. All right, what we'll do moving forward then is that we'll let the RFP process play out, because we understand that Mr. Denmark, he has a prior engagement that he couldn't be here, and his current service agency is not here.
Right. So I
Do we
can,
need to have a motion to put it up for RFP?
yes.
Yeah.
But can I get a few more details before we do that motion so I can make sure we have everything together? So I can put the RFP out. How long, if you all will give me until February 1st to actually get the RFP out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am extremely short-staffed, and we're just trying to get everything wrapped up. So I can get the RFP submitted by February 1st.
Yes.
And maybe have a 30-day period on the RFP and have requests back by March 1st. And then the commission can meet after that in order to review those proposals.
Sounds good. We can have a call meeting.
So just to get that timeline together, the RFP will go out February 1st. All proposals will be due by March 1st. And would the commission like to meet the following Wednesday, which would be March 6th? Or is there's a, I mean, you all can pick. I just know Wednesdays are typically the days that we meet on. Because the next quarterly meeting is not until April 17th.
I'm good that day.
I would be okay with the 6th.
Okay?
Which one?
The
Sixth,
6th, March 6th.
I'm good for March 6th.
Okay?
Same.
Lisa?
Yes.
Good.
What time?
Do we want to keep it at 4:30?
Now, we did mention, and I think we voted a few months back to have our meeting start at 2 p.m.
I know that was for the October meeting.
October meeting.
Did y'all want to move all meetings to 2 p.m.?
Well, if we did
Well, she
that, you'd have
teaches.
to replace me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're teaching.
So I think that's why we decided just the quarterly, just that October meeting, the long meeting to 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we'll just stay where we're at.
4:30? Okay. Okay, now we can have a motion. Sorry, I wanted all the details.
I'd like to make a motion that we put advertising out for an RFP beginning February 1st and ending March the 1st.
I second that motion.
All right, there's a motion and second. Is there any unreadiness? Any discussion? No. All right, no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, ayes have it, motion carried. All right, next item on the agenda, we have a presentation for Priscilla Block concert.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to give a recap of the Priscilla Block concert that we had on November the 3rd. It was at Front Street Festival Plaza, which we officially reopened on the 3rd after several significant upgrades. Those upgrades included expansion and covering of the stage area, new restroom facilities, and a decorative fencing to create a secure structure. The event was headlined by Priscilla Block. She was a national recording artist and TikTok influencer. She's got 1.9 million followers on TikTok. Opening acts was Jesse Jenkins, who's a Texarkana native, PG grad, and Ethan Kuntz, who's a Nashville, Arkansas native. And he's in Nashville, Tennessee now, recording. Some of our main sponsors was, of course, the A&P Commission and Anheuser-Busch. Attendance, we had 581 ticket sales, 121 comp tickets for a total of 702 tickets. You can't really see from the picture, but the whole street area was full of people. There's some more pictures. Lighting was done by West Arc Concert Services and Don Riddle, who's an Texarkana, Arkansas native. There's some more pictures of Front Street of the stage during the day, crews working, and there's the A&P logo as you walked in. Some of the reviews, Don Riddle said, every band and crew enjoyed their time in Texarkana. It's a great venue. The concert's just the start of great things for the loading dock and the downtown entertainment district. Amber Gentry from Ben Lomond, Arkansas said it was a great concert. She came to see Little Skinny. Romeo Cross, co-owner of JR's Catering, newly added loading dock stage proved to be a fantastic addition to the city's entertainment district. Witnessing the joy and excitement of Texarkana residents enjoying the new venue was truly a remarkable experience. We look forward to participating in many more downtown events in the future. And we had several people just come up to us and they were ecstatic about what we've done downtown and looking forward to more and more events. So summary for the whole thing, first major event at Front Street Festival Plaza was an overall success. The event wouldn't have been possible without the support of the Texarkana Advertising Promotion Commission, and with your continued support, the loading dock stage and Festival Plaza area can be a major attraction for downtown.
We're glad to see that the event was a success, and everything that you set out to accomplish seemed like you did that.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, it's exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Next item, we have Holiday Springs Water Park.
How we doing?
We're doing just fine.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Lindsay, and I'm with the First National Bank of Hugh Springs, and currently we are the mortgage holder on the Holiday Springs Water Park. We have been since the beginning. We have hit some issues lately, and there's going to be some changes this year. We are in the process right now of going through the legal process of becoming the owner of that facility, and our intent is to bring it back and improve it from where it was so that it can continue to be a successful business for the city and to grow, actually. We felt like there were some things that didn't happen that needed to be happened. We were disappointed in that, but we're at the point now where we only have a chance to get better with it.
Right.
We've spent some time there. And through our current relationships that we have, we do have a relationship with this gentleman here. His name is Johnny Blevins, and this is his son that's also with him. And he has vast experience in water parks. And so we have that existing relationship. And so we have reached out and are leaning on him to help us. I'm not a water park operator. I was once a lifeguard when I was growing up. I don't want to be a water park operator, but I want to use his expertise and let him explain what he has planned, what we have planned to revitalize this water park, to make it what it can be with the expertise that they have. And then maybe propose some things to you guys that, we can partner in the future to accomplish that. So that's what we're here for. And I know that it's kind of impromptu. Things have happened pretty quickly on our end, but we want to keep you aware because you have a vested interest along with us. And so at this time, unless you have any questions from me specifically. Yes, sir.
You mentioned ownership or timeline.
The timeline that we're looking at, well, things can change over time when you're dealing with legal issues, but we're looking at approximately 60 days for that to be finalized. Although I will say by the end of the week, we hope to have an agreement with the current owner to take over operations at the end of the week, so that we can begin what we need to do, because there are some time frames that we're up against that for advertising, for repairs, for aesthetics, for all that type of thing to have ready for the beginning of the summer.
Right, that's where I'm going.
Yes, so we're in how do I say, turbo mode right now, trying to get all that accomplished, and we're almost to that finish line. I hope to have some documents signed by the end of the week that will allow us to have full access to where we have an agreement until that legal process is finished. The legal process is ongoing, but I can't make that go any faster. So, I will say that the current owner is agreeable and working. I mean, it's not against it. It's just, it's a process, and we can't change it. The law's the law. So we're doing everything we can so that we can get started quickly. And the quicker the better, because you're going to see some vast improvements. And like I say, you'll hear a little bit about that tonight as well. So any other questions for me?
Thank you. We're ready to hear what you got.
All right, so I'll turn it over to Mr. Blevins. Thank you very much for allowing us to come before you.
All right.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name's Johnny Blevins, my son Brett, and give you just a little bit of background of who we are and what we do in the water park industry and things like that. I own and operate Splash Kingdom Water Parks. There's one in Canton, Texas, which is our first one we did about 20 years ago. We have Shreveport, Louisiana. We have Greenville, Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas, and Hudson Oaks, which is the other side of Weatherford, Texas, that we actually own and operate. We've done that for about 20 years. Over the past 10 years, Actually, Dr. Patel was one of the folks that reached out to us about 10 years ago and asked for opinions and then apparently didn't use them. But we work with groups all over the place. We operate 4 water parks for the city of El Paso. We work with, just was in Iowa last night. We're working on a park that we're operating and doing some things with them as well. And so we operate, we manage, and this park, unfortunately, has just been undermanaged. Great intentions and great bones of the park, it just has been undermanaged. And in our relationship with First National Bank of Hugh Springs, we do some banking relationships with them, and they reached out to me and asked if we would be interested in kind of coming alongside them and doing this the way it needs to be done, and I'm looking very forward to doing that. And so we are committed, as well as the bank, we are committed to doing really what you guys deserve as a community, and the way that I would want to see a water park operate, because as a part of the water park world, we hate to see any park not do what it needs to be doing. I'm also a native Arkansas person. I was born in Harrison, Arkansas, and most of my family's in Arkansas. I've lived in Texas for a long time, but I am from Arkansas. I want to give you guys just a quick background of what we've seen at the water park and then kind of what our plan is. Have you seen this at all? I sent it last week. Have you seen this at all?
No.
Good, because I want some reaction when I show you what I'm showing you.
All right.
Okay, so we are P23 Consulting is what we do, and P23 Management, and that stands for Philippians 2:3 Consulting, which is a verse that I really like. It's do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but consider everybody else their opinions as well. And so that's the way we want to do our business. But we're taking Holiday Springs, and we want to kind of bring that back to what it was to begin with and continue forward with it. So does this click? Okay, I think you're going to. So some of it is the market, the facilities that we currently have, what we need to do immediately from a preseason standpoint, the rebranding, because I think there's a big need for that and a reason for that, and then the operations as a whole. In a 90-mile radius, which is a good kind of indication of where we have people come to a park this size. We have a lot of parks this size. 60 to 90 minutes is about where people will come, because you're going to spend 3 to 5 hours at the park, and so they're willing to drive that. We've got a little over 1 million people, almost 1.2 million people that we can have coming into this area and spending money in Texarkana, Arkansas. And so, the impact that we can have on a community with a water park, it's vast. And so they come in, they eat at our restaurants, they stay at our hotels, which I'm just curious, and I really would like to know, you guys have so many really nice medium hotels, and I'm curious to find out later why we have so many of those in Texarkana, Arkansas, because there must be a lot of people that are coming. Yes?
They would never work with the hotels. They would never give us discount for our guests to sell or water packages or anything.
Yeah.
We reached out to them many
Are you a part of one of those?
Yeah, I'm the express beside them.
Great. Well,
So-
we will be great
Yeah.
friends, because, every one of those
they
people
would
need to be
never work with it.
almost just treating it like it's part of the hotel. It's just part of how you do that. So,
Yeah.
great. We will get to know each other real
Okay.
well. But bringing in and staying in the community, spending days in the community and spending a lot of money in the community makes a big difference. The SWOT analysis, I don't want to read all of that, but there's some strengths at that water park, and that there is a good mix of attractions. There's some good things to do out there. There's some good bones. It just needs to have some attention to that in the right way. Weaknesses, opportunities. The opportunity is to manage that well, work with the partners around the community, and make a difference and make sure people want to come there to use that. And so we're going to address all those. Okay, we've got some great attractions, and really for a regional park like this, it's a great mix of children's area, wave pool, lazy river, a nice slide tower. Unfortunately, the drop slide in the slide tower probably hasn't worked for a year or two, and they haven't fixed that, and just some things like that just shouldn't be happening, that will all be addressed between us and the bank. This is what it's looking like right now. And I feel bad for you guys. I feel bad for the community, and this just can't happen. And so, my background, I build brands for a living before I started doing water park. I don't know if you've heard of Sobe Beverages with the lizards on the label, and Pepsi bought that several years ago. We created that brand, and then some other guys and I built Blue Buffalo Dog Food. I hope if y'all have dogs, some of y'all have used that. That's a brand that we started too. We build brands and we market those brands. And I was hearing your discussion earlier about not having a marketing group, and you're having a few months from now when you're going to have that, and it's really great to do that. But you're going to be in the middle of the spring before you're going to have somebody marketing for 2024. So I would love for us to market together folks coming for spring while you're getting this RFP to get somebody excited about coming to Texarkana. So anyway, we'll go next.
Okay.
We can keep going. Yeah, and just these are some pictures of what we're seeing now in the pump houses and some of the lack of care that we have seen, that all the things that we have talked about that we're going to address and make this back to where everybody's going to be proud of this water park in Texarkana. Some different repair needs, and as you look at the park up there as a whole, again, one of the first things I notice when you come into it is that it's just so plain. It really needs some landscaping. It really needs some just really touches, some palm trees or some different direction, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with that in just a second. But, it just needs that pop. It's a little bit industrial feeling when you walk in. I want to soften that up, and I want to make sure that people go, okay, there's a reason I want to come here instead of just go to a city pool or something like that. So a lot of good things we want to do there. We have a team that we're going to put behind this. Myself, our other team, we've got a lot of experience in doing this, helping parks be the best they can be, and of course operating hours on a daily basis also. And so time is of the essence. We want to get started quickly with this. Okay, rebranding. Holiday Springs is not a brand that everybody wants to go to right now, unfortunately. Over the last 2 or 3 years, it has been very under-managed. It's just not something that is reeking of excitement to go to. We want to have a little fun with this, and we want to play off of a couple of things. One being the nature of Arkansas. Also in Little Rock, you've got this bridge. It is a bridge beside a dam on the lake that has more visitors than any other bridge in y'all state. And it's called the Big Dam Bridge because it's beside that big dam. We want to play off of the fun of the beaver, the Bucky Beaver, the fun of building that team and that family atmosphere, bringing nature and family together, and create and change this marketing from Holiday Springs to Big Dam Water Park. And everybody's going to want to come to the Big Dam Water Park in Texarkana and get some Big Dam nachos and have a Big Dam day. And so we're going to have a great time in Texarkana at this new park. And so as we go forward to the next spot, next page, we have a story about Benny the Beaver and why he decided to build this water park, as he was watching that dam being built and his family was having fun, and now let's create a fun place for other families to have a good time. And we get to just have some fun and entertainment with our families, and why is there a reason for nature and water parks to be here, and why do we have a water park? Every good water park needs a story. It needs a storyline to get behind, and so that is what we want to do with this. But to do that, we've got to create it back to where it was. We've got to get the color back. You drive by right now, it's so faded, it's so blah, it's so boring, and that is not what people want to get excited to bring your kids to. And so Benny the Beaver is a fun little story. It's a fun little backdrop of why we would do that. And so let's go to the next one and see. We want to return those smiles back there. I don't know if the numbers and the information that we've received from them to date is accurate, if it's good. I mean, if it's, something that I can really rely on, but it is slightly embarrassing as far as how many people are not going to your park in Texarkana, Arkansas. And we will change that. We will make that completely different for this city. We want to create that fun atmosphere for families. We want to make sure that it is a safe operating park. Again, we bring a team of people that know what they're doing, and also the care to make a difference in the park that we're serving. And so I know that there was a relationship with that park, and unfortunately it probably was not held up on the water park side. They have nothing to do with that anymore. I would love for us to continue that relationship and let us prove to you that we're going to make that difference and make your money valuable for what we do with that. We will do relationships. I had no idea you were part of the hotel deal, so, but we will have those relationships not only with
Great.
yours, but all the others, and just make a difference in this community, make sure we can get some people spending money in the town. I'll ask for questions, but I also would like to talk about not only continue that relationship, but from a marketing standpoint, we do want to do a rebranding, and I would love to work alongside you to see, from a marketing standpoint, can we join together and do something in addition to, from a first-year rebranding, marketing, getting folks coming to, and leave you time to just kind of think about that. But any questions for me, concerns, or thoughts at all?
Is it
Are there
going
any
to
questions? Cool.
grow in size? I mean, are you going to build additional,
That
are
would be
you
the
working with
desire.
what you have right now?
That would be the desire. For this year, no. From a timing standpoint, there's a lot of stuff we need to do just to make it
Yeah.
very
Safe.
exciting for whenever, safe, operating well, training well, getting people up to doing the standards that need to be there. So we wouldn't have time to add anything. And then also, I really, just from a financial standpoint and wisdom, just to say, okay, what do we have? What's our response?
Okay.
And then what do we need? Because we
Sure.
could pick something to add, but we haven't seen how it's used right now. So do we have a higher percentage of 12 and under? Do we have a higher percentage of teenagers? What do we need to add to continue to grow that
Gotcha.
market? So,
Gotcha.
but we definitely will be doing, that evaluation and seeing what we need.
Okay, and last question is.
Yes, ma'am.
Are y'all looking at how long it's going to be open during the year? Like Memorial to Labor Day?
It's Memorial Day, Labor Day. I've seen some of
Okay.
the website things and I don't want to just bash the old water park. It's not us, but what the calendar needs to be Memorial Day, Labor Day. Goes along with the school calendar. So it doesn't do any park in a seasonal atmosphere any good to be open way earlier than school being out or way later.
Yep, yep.
Because of staffing and the people who attend the park.
Okay.
But I know that they had issues of even staying open past July and this and that. And that's,
Yeah.
it's a management thing.
It was dangerous.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's good that you have taken the time to look at a lot of those reviews. Like myself, I've been to the water park here in Shreveport and El Paso. And so a lot of citizens know what right looks like.
Okay.
And so,
Good.
and a lot of the complaints are valid that you see
Yes, sir.
on the reviews. Just kind of take that in consideration. And you mentioned a few other things that I checked off my list about you bringing in a team, doing the training, and then doing the upgrades, what have you, in the schedule and all that. So those some major glitches that need to, really, be fixed.
Yes, sir. And just looking around the park and walking around with our team, and we brought a crew of 8 or 10 a few weeks ago, and we hit all the pump houses and looked at all the different things. We've got a plan in place of what we want to do to make sure that it's the way you and I would want to go to bring our families to the park, by the summer. Lazy River, out of 8 motors, I think probably one of them was working.
Right.
Some of the filter motors were hit and miss. I mean, just on and on and on. It's just, it should not have been operated like that. And I hate that for you guys, for the relationship you had before. We are not that relationship.
Just in the future, I think what I've seen just a little different is some of the parks that do have infrastructure, large awnings, because some days it's like 105, 110. It don't matter how much water is out there,
You need some shade.
need some shade.
Yeah, and y'all have a few
Yeah.
awnings,
Yeah.
but that will be definitely part of what cabanas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just as an example, there's cabanas beside the wave pool. There's a few, there needs to be more.
Right.
They were used for storage. There's lawnmowers and parts and pieces and, not only is that unsafe, you're not making the revenue you should, and it doesn't look good, and it's just not part of how you do it. But yeah, you need more shade, and that's part of our budget as well.
Are you familiar with the history of A&P in the water park, with the commitment that was made?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm requesting that you continue that and allow us to earn that instead of what you've unfortunately received.
So that was a 20-year commitment that
Yes.
was made by a previous commission, and it was very vaguely written. Operations and maintenance, I think, was the commitment that we made.
Yeah.
So it was very loose, and there weren't any measurables in that contract that we had with them. So I would definitely be open to, helping you guys get off the ground for sure.
Yep.
We want to see you guys win, because when you win, we win.
Absolutely.
So we definitely want to make sure we've got something that we can be proud of.
Yes, sir.
I do have a question on the adult pool.
Mm-hmm.
That is right there next to the convention center and
It is.
the hotel there. And they had a liquor license there before.
Okay.
Would you guys pursue doing something like that for adult entertainment, or opening that up to the hotel?
It's very interesting in looking at that and not meeting with the hotel yet, because I didn't want to overstep any meetings or commitments before. But I would really be open to, first of all, I'm embarrassed for the water park the way it was, and the hotel. Anyone staying in that hotel looking down at a green swamp is just horrible. So that pool really needs to be operated, at least for the hotel to be using, whether it's operated for the water park or not. So I want to meet with the convention center and see what we can do to help them either have it ready for them to operate easily as a hotel pool and not use it as a water park pool, or in conjunction in some way. So my plan would be to meet with them, sit down and go, hey, how would you like to use it? But it can't sit here being green. We can make it work. That's no problem for us. Our team can do that. But it's also an odd kind of a addition to a water park off by itself that really looks like it's connected to the hotel. So I think they really should be using that. So we'll see.
I think it should be as its own entity, and not, it's the hotel.
That little pool there
The
inside.
hotel and the water park have always, it's just rough, history-wise.
Right.
And I would love it to where it can be separated as far as advertising.
The hotel and the water park.
Yes.
And then I'd love to have
That's
more
my
discussion.
opinion, though.
Yeah, and I would love to have more discussions on that one particular pool to see, does that pool go to that hotel and then the water park is completely separate, or does it just stay with the water
Yeah.
park? And it doesn't really make a difference for us. I mean, we can totally have that as an adult pool if that's something that community wants, but also what is that relationship with that hotel? Do they even have a pool that,
They have an indoor pool.
they have an indoor pool? Okay.
Well, I think that was something we may have discussed, as we move forward.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Right now, it's all one entity,
Gotcha.
and try to create that own integrity. I get it, but right now, I think before we pull the wagon, that's kind of just
Get the horses in order?
Yeah, go ahead and get it started, the upgrades, and get it operational, get
Sure.
some operational, footage.
Well, and the main thing is the pool would be operating and pretty
Yeah.
in some form or fashion.
some form,
I can't stand having a green, it's not going to have my name on it and be green. So,
Yeah, I just didn't know what the plans were, because I know last year they didn't open it and they let their liquor license lapse several years ago. So it's just kind of been in decline. So I didn't know what your intentions were in that lane. but-
right. Our first intentions will make sure that it's operational and safe,
Yes.
and then it's at a high end of what services are, and then we'll kind of worry about the other details. I would love to have either a meeting individually or with all the people around with those hotels, and kind of go, hey, how can we all work together? Because I want everybody in those hotels in the summer
Yeah.
having access to the parks, whether that means we have some kind of an ongoing thing that allows you to do that, or there's special pricing in the summer specifically for people who want it.
Sure,
So,
we have a hospitality committee in
Love it.
Texarkana.
yep,
So I can get your information and give it to Barbara.
thank you. You
Okay.
bet.
Is the A&P money, is that a deal breaker for you guys?
It was part of what brought us, we knew that was there, and that's part of what allowed us to do that. And the bank is committed to helping, make sure that they do right by Texarkana. But it is something, we're going to put a lot of money into it between now and opening, and we're going to do it in a big fashion. And so it is kind of a big deal for us as a company coming in to do that, to still have that commitment with you guys.
How,
If I may, and represent the bank, we have no issue. We have full faith in Mr. Blevins' ability and his company to do what they say they're going to do. They've been doing this for years. Part of what we do in that relationship, we've seen it, we know it, we trust it. And so our whole intent, we're not going to let this thing go. We do not want to lose money on it. It's not why we're in business. And we want to see it thrive so that we can recoup the most we can, but we are going to see it through. When you mention measurables and things like that you would like to see, this side is not opposed to that. We know what you've gotten in the past, and it's been vague, and we remember that bad taste in everybody's mouth. It caused kind of an uproar. We were like, hey, we didn't want that by any means, but we heard it.
Right.
Yeah, give us, let's talk about it. What is feasible, what makes sense, what is measurable that we can attain, that you would like to see, and then, hey, we have that, we can try to meet it, we can talk about it, if it's attainable, hey, we want you to see something in return. Mr. Blevins is trying to say, and you're going to get returns that you haven't seen before. We want to give you something that you're proud of. And it's a win-win for us, because if it goes downhill, it affects us monetarily, big time. So anyway,
for your answer, yes, it's very important, and we do not mind having standards that you guys want to see, and we'll do it. So if you need to tighten up the vagueness, if you need to say, hey, we really want to see this, and it's reasonable, then, that makes a lot of sense, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I would say just because the last agreement was for 20 years, none of those people are around anymore. Even the original operator isn't around. So I would say I want to support you guys for sure, but I think a shorter term contract would be.
Yeah, and then a renewable. If we had 3 years and then renewable, and if we're doing what we say we're supposed to be doing, and we're all happy and we're going to be close relationships, great. And if we're not, then let me know.
Okay, good. That was my question before you stood up. Yes.
Yeah.
About having a shorter contract. Yeah.
You bet. No, that's great.
On the front end, what are we looking at as far as getting the park up to where it needs to be and marketing for this season coming up?
So we are probably going to do somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million of improvements between now and opening. Now, we have significant relationships and do a lot of stuff in-house. So, hard money may be a little less than that, but we're doing about $1 million in improvements just to get it the way we want it to operate it. From a marketing standpoint, I'd like to do about a $250,000 marketing push with, we've got a marketing team, we've got a call center, we've got a ton of things that and really, y'all have, it's not your part. The previous water park has a horrible social media relationship, exposure, the whole thing, and we really want to blow that up. I would love to have, I don't want to ask for too much, but I want you guys to know what I'd like to do. So if we could continue the relationship you guys have on a 3-year and have some goals for us to hit, and then they could extend after that, that'd be great. For year 1, I'd love to see if you guys would be interested in maybe sharing that boost of that initial marketing piece of the 250, maybe split that with us, or 100 of it, something that we can really, and what that's going to do is not just market the water park, but market people coming to Texarkana, hearing about it, and I think you'll see results off of that too. We are good at marketing. We do that. I think you'll get your return off of that in a big way, and I'll be happy to stand back here in July and let you know what that looks like. But that's what I would ask.
So,
Go
ahead.
Would you want that in addition to what we've already committed
Yes,
to?
ma'am, for the first year.
I think it's exciting for Texarkana.
I agree with
I
that.
think that they wanted it for so long, and you're going to get so much like your feeder cities.
Yep.
They're going to just start coming in. I just know it. I can feel it because we need it.
We do.
And the shade. Definitely
Yeah.
shade.
Well, the other thing too, just as we're, laying out the plans and things like that, one of the things I noticed also, it's overpriced also. And so not only will we improve it, but we will lower the price slightly to some numbers to where it makes sense, but also people are excited about that. The season pass pricing, the day ticket pricing, they were not getting their money's worth, so I can see why they were probably going to either Magic Springs or one of our other water parks on the Texas side.
Yeah.
And so we need to get them staying here, growing this market and spending money in Texarkana.
Yeah.
All right. Just to make sure that we're tracking, as far as our prior commitment, Tyrone, will you please enlighten us on that so we don't overstep our bounds?
Yes, so I was looking at the entire contract because that will require an additional meeting with the city manager because there's portions of that contract that will have to be approved by a city board. But as far as A&P, there was two portions of this contract that directly related to A&P. One portion of it was the $250,000 for 20 years. That would essentially end in 2031. The other part of it was the return of any A&P taxes generated back to them for operations. So those were the two parts of this contract that really affected the A&P Commission. Now, the $250,000 has already been allocated. The return of any A&P funds, we actually keep those in a separate line item, so that's not, it didn't affect the budget.
All right.
Now, right now, the ending fund balance is $283,000. So if we were to split the $250,000 advertising cost, there is funds available to them in order for the A&P Commission to do that. We would just need to amend the budget to allocate the funding.
Tyronda, if we did not use those funds to split, what would those funds just stay there?
What do you, tell me again?
Out of the 280, if we didn't split the 250 with him, with those funds that we have available to split that, would that just stay in the?
Yes, if you didn't decide to allocate it to him, it would just stay where it is.
Are those funds able to be used for anything else?
Yes, that 283 is, after everything was budgeted for 2024, that's what the A&P Commission has available.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
So, all right. Well, Tyrone, I do appreciate
We can
that.
use the
125.
5 building and
125 on the split and 250. All right, well, with that being said, I understand we still have some more work to do. And is there anything else you want to convey to us?
I think that's it. I appreciate your time. I really do. And I look forward to being in front of you guys a few times and letting you know how things are going.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hearing us.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thompson, Ms. Henderson, thank you for spending your time
You're welcome.
and taking our calls, setting this up. We really do appreciate it, and we want to make you guys proud. We really do.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
My
guys.
question for the commission is at this point, and I guess I'm asking for clarification so I know what to do.
Well, I was going to ask the same thing. Probably. Can we agree that right now there's a 10-year thing left on it. I'd love to have that, but if we can do it in a 3-year increment and let us prove that we're doing that, so you guys, if we're not, cut us off before
let
then.
me ask you this, can we start with doing half of your marketing for this year and look at signing a contract at the end of this season?
That's a big difference, which makes
Or 100% of the marketing up front and then?
How about we-
I'm asking for a point of clarification, and y'all let me know if I'm overstepping, but I think what he's asking is for the 250 that's already allocated, for that entire 250 plus half of the marketing.
Correct.
So essentially what he's asking for is about $375,000.
Right. That's what I got wrote down here.
Correct.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
So
what I got.
the number that's already allocated, and then,
Right.
because we're doing a brand change, it's not just, we're going to flip the switch and call it Holiday Springs and just do the same. We're really making a big difference to get people to come to Texarkana, and that's why I would just request that we could split that for the first year only. We'll take it from there. But if we could have the funds that are allocated for this year, and then how about we reevaluate at the end of the year, and if we don't have a 10-year agreement. We have a 1-year, because we're going to do what we say we do. And so,
I believe you're genuine, I don't question that.
so if we have the 250 that's already allocated in there, what I'm asking is, do you feel like what we're doing can merit keeping that in that contract the way you have it? And then I'm asking if we can split the first year's marketing to really make a splash in
I
Texarkana.
think that's the question on the floor, and at this time, we'll take a vote on that.
Can I
Is
ask
there-
one question? currently, everything is on a reimbursement basis. Would you need any money in advance to kick off that marketing campaign?
I'm not worried about the advance.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we're doing it together.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're strapped for money. I just want us to work together to make this thing awesome.
All right. All right, with the understanding that, we still have contract, to negotiate with the city manager as far as tenure
Yes, sir.
and all that. All right, is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion that we continue the agreement on
Can I
a,
change the motion?
yes.
There's always one of those. There's always one of those in every
Checks and
community.
balances, gotta have them, gotta have them.
I am that person.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
Tell me what I need to
So
say.
we make the motion to reallocate the $250,000 because when we say contract, this contract has a lot of pieces and portion of that has to be approved by city board.
Right.
So with that, the motion is to reallocate the $250,000 previously allocated to Holiday Springs Water
Right.
Park to Big Dam Water Park with an additional allocation of $125,000 for marketing and the return of all A&P funds back to Big Dam Water Park. That all the A&P funds that they generate back to them.
I make that motion.
Okay.
Good job. Good job.
All right, it's been motioned, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and second. Is there any discussion?
Love the logo.
Tyrone, will you call the roll? Hold 1
They
second.
have to do it with Mr. Finance?
Lifetime passes.
Or yearly passes. I just get it.
The 100, okay. Yeah.
I mean, purely technical matter.
Yes, we can put that. Okay, so I'm not the attorney.
But you did stay in a Holiday Inn last night.
But he did bring up a good point. The $250,000 can be reallocated because it's already allocated, but the additional 125, they will have to do an actual request for that because those funds haven't been allocated, and
Right.
just allocating those funds will be a violation of the bylaws.
Gotcha.
So we can put the 125,000. If March 1st is fine, we can put that allocation on that agenda, and I can send you an A&P request form for that request of that 125 because that is additional.
Good job.
You will keep me straight,
Perfect.
Yes,
and I will do what you say.
thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet.
So just to change it, it's just to reallocate the 250,000 to them, return any A&P funds generated back to them. So that's the motion.
If I may,
I amend my motion as stated.
if I may ask one question, with the reallocation of the 250, is there a time frame that you're going to have this? Is it going to perpetuity for the 2031, or you're going to do it for 1 year increments until proven?
Let's do it 1 year.
1 year.
Again, I'm just want for clarity because
Yes.
the
I'm
funding
fine with
part,
Yeah.
funding part you figured out, but again, this contract has variables in here that go for a period of time that I would like clarity while all parties are here to ensure consistency and expectations,
Right.
respectfully.
Because we understand that there's contracts are being made, and we're waiting for closing and all the legal
Yes, I want
stuff.
to clarify,
Right.
at the beginning of this year, the owner of the park, the actual facility, will be the bank. We will contract with Mr. Blevins to operate that for us, just making you aware. We're not going to hold it for that long. Our intent is to get it up and running as best it can, and then find an investor that wants to take it.
Got it.
Now, our limits per law, we are a national bank, we can't hold it more than 2 years once we get it without our approval from our regulators. So we're not going to have it for a long period of time.
Right.
We just want to get this ball rolling, get it
Gotcha.
done. We got the best we can get to get it up and running. I just want to make you aware of who's actually going to own
Own
it,
it.
who's running it. We will have an agreement with him that will be drawn up. I want to be very, very transparent with all of that.
All right.
So that there's no question, it's going to the water park is what it is. But, whether that be this consulting firm or the bank, it's still going to that.
Did you notice he said that he's got the best that he could get? He didn't say
heard
that the
that.
best, he didn't
I
say
heard
it's the
that.
best there was. He just said it's the best he could get.
You're
It's a
gonna,
big difference.
you're gonna sleep well tonight. Yeah, I heard that. All right, this discussion is still out there. Is there any more discussion?
One more point of clarity, respectfully, council. The 1 year is for this calendar year, for clarity, and in the event that the transaction is successful to another entity, does not arbitrarily and automatically transfer. Just want to make sure that it has to come back in front of you all for clarity.
Yes.
Because it's for this entity, at this time. But if they're successful, say in August, I want to ensure that you still have your protection of that revenue to determine the wishes of the board with respect to the A&P revenue.
Yes, I concur to that. Everyone is tracking that.
Clarity.
That just for clarity. Everyone's tracking it.
Perfect.
All right. All right. Is there any more discussion? If not, will you please call the roll?
Brewer?
Yes.
Oh, there wasn't a second.
It was.
Okay. Sorry, I missed a second. Brewer?
Yes.
Mills?
Yes.
Hollybush?
Yes.
Vandegraff?
Yes.
Henry?
He's
Holmes?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
The motion carries 6-0.
All right, motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time.
It's going to be good.
Yes,
I've
sir.
got my card if you guys want it, and you can call me anytime.
Can you have one as well?
You get it first. Ladies first. You go keep
Yes, because I got to work on your water rates.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, the next item we have on the agenda is delinquent A&P taxes.
Okay, on delinquent A&P taxes, I have continued to work with business owners in order to get those taxes collected. We try to work with them as much as possible. I know the list seems long, but if you notice, there's several of them that are just 1 month, and sometimes it's just timing with the mail, holidays, all of that. But I don't know if the commission is interested in this, but this just for me helps the look of the list. We have several businesses that are closed that are on this list. Is it necessary to keep them on this list every month? Or can we just take them off the list because the attorney already has all the necessary information to file on them?
I like that.
Yes, I think that would be appropriate. What do
Okay,
you all
thank
think?
you.
What do you all
We've
think?
talked about that before.
Yes.
In addition, is it necessary for us to put it on there if they're just 1 month?
Well, I was asked, this is at the wishes of this commission. I was asked by the previous makeup of the commission to have a cutoff date, and if they are delinquent for that 1 month, put them on the list and they would not be advertised. So the sales agency did a lot of put them on the website, take them off the website, put them on the website, take them off the website. Because usually if it's 1 month, it's typically crossing in the mail.
Right.
And every once in a while, we'll get 1 month that's a stray. And it's got lost in the mail or something like that. I agree with you. If it's 1 month, I personally wouldn't put them on there. So if there's like a 3-month time period, that would be my recommendation. If they're
Do a
3
quarter.
months.
Quarter.
Yeah, only add them to the delinquency list if they're 3 months.
I agree.
Because typically if it was 1 month, it's usually crossed in the mail. And I have some, like my smaller ones, especially my food trucks, they'll pay 2 months at one time. Or 3 months at one time, because they come by and they're paying $60.
For your record, do we need to vote on that?
I don't think it needs a motion. I can just change that list to make it operate where
Okay.
I'll take off all closed businesses. I'll take all of them off the list and I won't report them unless they're 3 months. And I promise you, this list will be a third of what it is right now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, and just from, like the chili bean closed in 2019,
And it's still on the list.
it's still on the list. And, as far as the 1 month issue, we send letters to these businesses you know, technically the ordinance gives rules about when, ordinance gives kind of guidance, well, it says how much and when we send letters. And usually, you know, like Taronda said, if somebody doesn't pay for 1 month, within 3 months, those one-offs are usually corrected. If not, that letter, you know, we get a call saying, hey, you know, I did it in my account or whatever, and they get them paid. And the list from November to December 31st is different. A lot of those one-off months have been rectified. So I would agree, and I don't think we need a motion to
All right.
take these off the list.
Because the commission doesn't even accept this list or make a motion on it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
I do have one question. So like there's a restaurant here that's been open for years, and I mean, they have 8 years on here delinquent. What do we do about that? And they still continue to operate? That's just a curious
You
question.
can't really do anything.
And I know which one you're talking about, the Golden Lady.
Yep.
So, I mean, I've got a few of the certificates of indebtedness. You know, those are, they're a lien on the property just like anything else.
Right.
You know, I don't, it doesn't look like,
I was just curious of, you know, all that, how it worked.
are you gonna execute on the lien?
Yeah. You know, the last commission we had here before you all joined, that question came up, and pretty much it's still the same as far as, you know, enforcing the lien when we get that opportunity. And so that's where we're at on that, because,
I'll be honest with you, when they get the letter, that determines if they're gonna pay it or not, because most times if they get that letter, I get a phone call. And I get a phone
Right.
call, and I get an email, and I see somebody that day.
yeah.
He sent out some at the end of the year. I got a couple phone calls.
Good deal.
Yes, I did.
Good deal.
I got them in early December.
Well, I got phone calls beginning of January.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, I'm gonna, and speaking of that, I've got some certificates of indebtedness for the director to sign, but before that, I'll get with you and make sure that none of them called you and made arrangements.
They haven't made arrangements. They all plan on gonna come see me.
Okay.
And they sent me their tax forms. So I'm just waiting on them to come pay them.
Okay. Well, I'll give,
So we want to hold off on the signature.
just to make
I know
sure.
which two it is. They're on top of my head.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Is there any other business that need to be discussed or brought forward? If not, is there a motion for adjournment?
I motion.
Second.
It's been motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. Time now.